orb item, of which Havoc did identify. At last week, I didn't have a glowing sphere, and basically you would have found out that this orb emanates a warmth, gentle, or it generates a warmth that you would kind of liken to the crackling of a kind of a wood fire. But it spreads a warmth in about a 30-foot radius, and is reminiscent of a campfire.
But like we can touch, like it's okay to touch.
Yeah, it's okay to touch. It just gives off a warmth, basically.
Nice.
But after finding that and then kind of traveling for another 4 or 5 hours, the group did make rest and have a long rest, thanks to Havoc's ritual spell. But before doing so, Kira looked through your shard that you found back in Lonelywood, and saw that there was some sort of large looming thundercloud, and it appeared that the group was moving towards it. But we'll pick up our session the next morning, having received your long rest. What would you like to do?
Eat breakfast.
Yes.
Sure.
A lot on.
Are you going hunting, or are you just kind of using your travel rations?
I think it's only if I'm in a forest. I've got like, is it forager?
What that allows you to be able to forage for food.
I might ask
enough
if
for a certain amount.
I might ask if Ayla wants to go hunting.
Ooh.
I believe Ayla was not in the best of moods last night. The night prior.
Yeah. Wait, are you referring to me being like under the charm of the dragon?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It seemed like Ayla was put out.
Yeah.
Before resting.
Double check. I can find food and fresh water for myself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. Wanderer.
You can certainly try.
But I'll ask Ayla if she wants to kind of like just so take her mind off things with a task oriented, and see if we can find like a rabbit or something. Might be a little challenging for her anyway, but good practice.
Sure.
Give you my bow.
So I'll say
I'll give you the moon bow.
So I'll say I'll have Ayla roll a survival check here. I'll let you do so with advantage because of Kira's assistance.
Okay.
But this is sort of Ayla taking charge here, with kind of Kira taking a step back and overseeing this little hunting expedition in the tundra of Icewind Dale.
Okay. Advantage helps.
Cool.
So stupid.
Does it?
I'm so bad. So, that would be a 4.
A 4
with advantage. Yeah. I rolled a
With
It's
advantage?
impossible for me to get that.
a natural 3 and a 6. Natural 6.
Nice. Roll me a d4.
Okay.
Do you have a -2 in
2.
wisdom?
Yeah, I do. Mhm.
A 2.
Yeah.
About 2 hours goes by, and at this point, your patience is wearing pretty thin, Kira. Determined to return successful. Ayala is very kind of forceful about trying to be a successful hunting person in this icy cold morning.
Can I try to can I try to stealth killing a rabbit?
Sure, roll me a survival check. This will just be just a single roll.
22.
22. Okay. So it sort of goes down. You spend 2 hours, and at this point, you're sort of like, all right, well, I'm starting to get cold. We need to move on. And you kind of like, all right, I'm going to stop watching Ayla and maybe sort of just stop for a second and pay attention to kind of what's happening around me. And before long, you see this small white creature kind of bounding across a piece of the tundra, and you see what would appear to be some sort of snow hare.
I'd like to kill it, please.
Sure, roll an attack.
Roll an attack. That is a natural 20.
I'll get you to
Oh,
also
God.
roll a stealth check. What's your passive perception, Ayla?
Bro.
Jesus Christ.
8.
I think you'll be good.
18.
Natural 20 for a
8.
31.
8.
Oh, 8.
Yeah.
My stealth is +8, so
Yeah.
unless I roll. Yeah, it's not on that. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's a 3, but it's still 11.
11, right.
Stealth.
So what I'll say is that you see this tiny white snow hare bounding across the tundra, and you kind of take a step back from Ayala, who's almost knee deep in soft powder, kind of trudging through the snow, and you take it. You're almost basically sitting on top of the snow, sort of like watching her, and you loose your arrow, and your aim is true, and you strike down this hare, but it does catch Ayla's notice, but not enough to know sort of what just happened, and you turn, and Ayla turns around.
Everything going well?
Yeah, I'm still just pretty distracted. I think I fucking hate the snow, to be honest with you. And I'll spin the ring that I have on my, like, just kind of focus on, not like absent-mindedly, like be kind of fiddling with the ring that I have on my thumb.
Look, that's pretty fair. And I knew this was going to be challenging, but I just thought to be task oriented at the start of the day might kind of jumpstart our brains and our bodies. Anyway, I've killed a hare. Let's go back. I think we've been out here long enough, and I think we deserve some food.
Yeah, I think it has been entirely too long. I think it was kind of you to let me go as far as you have, to be honest. But
I
yeah,
have faith in you, Ayla.
I'm pretty hungry. I don't know that this. I think maybe if we're gonna go like hunt for food, it may be one of those things where it's more of a butcher than a hunt when it comes to me. Not sure that unless it's sure held it there with a lead. I'm not. I don't know how good I'll be at finding breakfast.
I can certainly be your eyes in the future, and then
Ooh. Maybe that. Yeah, I'm a little bit. bit too scatterbrained to track down stuff like that. So maybe next time you can like point it out and I can give it a go.
Yeah, for sure. It can be a new skill, and it's just something to practice. But anyway, we've been out here for long enough. So
yeah, I'm sure they're. I mean, I'd be worried about us wondering what was up. So let's go.
So the two of you make your way back to camp, and meet up back with Tonk and Havoc. But you set off what I'm assuming is towards the thundercloud, or what would appear to be a thundercloud.
we have a do we have a game plan.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go for the thundercloud.
I think if it's towards the direction that we were told that we were supposed to be going, then yeah, let's keep heading towards the thundercloud.
So looking through the shard, I can't actually see the tower at the moment. It's just the storm, basically.
At the moment, to give you an idea as to what you're seeing, it almost looks like if you've ever seen a really big rain cloud, how it almost looks like the cloud is actually being dragged down with the rain as well, and it almost looks like it's like an actual vertical cloud almost, rather than like more spanned across the sky. It's similar to
Curtain of
that.
cloud.
Yeah, it's almost like it's this pillar of cloudy, murky form that's in the distance. That it really does look like it's some sort of thundercloud or rain cloud sort of type situation, but it has this weird shimmer to it when you look through the shard, which is kind of what's creeping you out about it. It doesn't look like a natural weather formation. But as you start to head towards it, I'll get you to roll a survival check. And anyone else who would like to can also roll a intelligence check.
My guidance, the survival check.
Sure.
I've already rolled. DM.
Yeah, that's still good.
What was the
One
other thing
more.
you're rolling for? Intelligence.
Intelligence.
That's a good one.
To survival, dirty 20.
30-20.
Naturally 20 on my intelligence check.
Whoa!
Okay.
First roll the night's not 20. Feels good.
So, Kira, you're pretty confident. You've been traveling in the snow and Icewind Dale for a while now, and you're fairly confident navigating the map and then looking through the shard and sort of maintaining a direction and kind of getting used to sort of when looking for, oh, that could look like sort of a blizzard, we should maybe hunker down, that sort of thing. You're feeling pretty confident moving through this area of the world now. But maybe through a little bit of questioning, Havoc, you get the idea that while from what Kira has been saying, it looks like it's further away, but every time sort of Kira looks through the shard, and then says to you guys we're pursuing the right direction, something is a little bit amiss to you in the way that it almost never seems like that you're getting closer. So whether there's possibly something afoot there.
Okay. I have no idea what to do with that information. Does it? Are we actually getting any closer to this? I feel like you keep describing the exact same thing every single time.
I mean, to be fair, I'm seeing the same thing every single time.
Are we following along? Are there anything descript that we've like? Are we following along? I see that there's a couple like river basins, at least. Like maybe they're not flowing rivers. I mean, is there anything that landscape wise that we've been tracking along with that would be an obvious tell that this thing's not getting any closer? Like we've maybe made a mark to mark kind of thing.
You've seen hints of sort of like almost a moving ice river, but you necessarily haven't been traveling along by it. And to be honest, when you were heading towards that constructed dragon, it sort of took you in a slightly different direction, albeit in the general vicinity was, the general direction was the same, but it sort of maybe took you off course for a little bit. But your group continue to move forward, and you travel for an hour, 2 hours, gets towards kind of evening, and I'll say at around probably this point, Kira, you check your shard, and the cloud that was there is dissipating a little bit, and you get your first glimpse of what appears to be a tower.
Cool. I was going to suggest maybe it was like a defense mechanism that we were supposed to be looking in a different direction, but it was our eyes are fixed on that. But
It was
good.
like a guiding thing.
Have I? Do I have? Looking through it, and I don't think that it's always super clear and whatever. But has there been any way to kind of like ascertain a rough distance from like the clouds and stuff, and or does it always just look? It's always just look the same, really.
Is it a range?
Prior to the moment you're looking through it now, no, but tonight would be the first night where you're actually really able to gauge a distance, and it would kind of, I'll say, roll a survival check to see if you can gauge the distance.
15.
15? You're probably a day and a half away.
I will also.
Okay.
Depending on how obviously fast you move, and if you choose to sort of push it's standard travel, you're probably about a day and a half. But as the night kind of goes, sort of goes on, maybe the one last check before you start your meditation, the thunder or the clouds that were there are at their most reduced, and you can get your sort of best vision or look at this tower.
With, I guess the description of that, I would lean over to Kira. Kira, can I have a look?
Yeah, certainly.
I'll look through the shard.
Through the shard.
Is it the same tower that I've seen previously?
Roll a perception check.
Hey, 21.
Very good. It is the same tower, but there are slight differences.
Okay.
The most notable one is that there is an absence of a certain creature on the top of the tower.
Mm-hmm. So no spider on top. But all the
And
other
what
details of the tower look the same.
all the other details are about the same. Yep.
Okay.
What I will do is I will post in our D&D chat. If all were to look through the shard, if they wanted to, this is what they would see.
Oh, shit.
Far out.
That looks dope.
Looks kind of
And terrifying.
like coastal.
Wait, that's how big it looks from a day away?
Bit of imagination, but that's
okay.
what it would look like if you were closer. So just imagine that from further away.
Yeah, right.
But you're sort of getting the feeling in the sense of why it sort of freaked out those people in the story that you were told.
Oh, yeah.
And it's now kind of looming on you. You didn't, because you never saw it prior. This is your sort of the first night of you seeing it, and this is where that sort of feeling of dread and fear and all negative feelings are sort of bubbling up and sort of encroaching on you, and it takes you a moment to sort of steady yourself and actually sort of center yourself. Dale, there's an image in our chat of what you would see if you would look through the shard.
Oh, good heavens.
Yeah,
right.
There's Havoc.
Is there anything you would like to do before you turn in for the night?
Have I? So I haven't always seen the like the storm though. That only appeared when we continued to travel. Is that right?
It's almost as if, so after you got the shard and you were using it to sort of navigate the tundra before encountering that construct dragon, it was really almost just there wasn't really anything there. The shard helped you locate that dragon itself. It was a lot more clearer and helped you sort of identify what it was. It was upon killing that dragon that when the shard was looked through that thundercloud seemed to be more visible than it had prior, or at all.
Interesting.
And now that you're starting to get closer, I'll say in conjunction with Havoc's intelligence check that there seems to be some sort of timely aspect at play here.
Just
Like an alarm sort of thing.
More like what time you view the shard during the day.
So just coming from, finding that random elf crypt with the moose and everything, and how there was some magics to stop people from finding it. It's curious that we seem to, now be able to see this tower at nighttime, and I kind of wonder if maybe we should change our approach to travel more so at night if we're going to have a clearer vision of where we're going than to do during the daytime.
Can we see the tower without the shard at this stage, or is it only through the shard?
Only through the shard.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if it's clearer, we would have to obviously be a little bit concerned about
That was close.
what else is out and about at night time. I certainly haven't seen or heard anything, and I mean, you would know more, Kira. You're up and about more than we are, but I think we would almost take it on your authority as to whether we keep moving or not.
At least by which it's going to be easier for us to find at night, then I don't think there's anything to talk about. I think that that's the decision. I think that that's the smart thing to do. Otherwise, we could get, I mean, I've heard stories of people getting constantly chasing the edge of the horizon and places beyond the spine of the world and getting lost in a snowstorm forever. So being lost out here is a death sentence.
Mm.
The less time we spend out here, the better.
Agreed.
Obviously.
Yeah, agreed.
Ben,
Look.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to suggest that maybe
Who's Ben?
we can experiment tonight and maybe slowly kind of, keep traveling towards the tower and see if anything changes. And then obviously I don't want to push us too hard, especially if we're getting close. But yeah, we may have to travel at night, or if you had a different suggestion.
Did you say you felt like it's a day and a half away? Maybe we can travel for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours tonight?
If everyone has it in them, we've been kind of at it all day, and we haven't traveled at night, and through my kind of meditations and just kind of being around it, nothing seems to bother us when we're in the magical shack. I am weary though. We just ran into a mechanical dragon.
Well, that was a day ago.
Yeah, I mean, more so the location than the time.
That's true too.
Well, and along the lines of experimenting, I picked this up. I don't know. I get it. I don't know that it'll help us at all. And I'll dig through my pack, and I want to find the shard of mirror that I took from Castle Neverwinter. And I want to just kind of look at it. Does the space around me look any different? If I remember right, it was kind of it was reflective, but it was like captured the scene of the horrors of what happened in Castle Neverwinter. Is that changed?
Captured a moment in time.
Yeah. Has it changed at all?
It still reflects the same thing.
Okay.
So based on the angle you hold it, you see different scenes of those people stuck in that hallway after Mount Hoknu exploded or erupted, rather.
And I'll explain to the group what I'm trying to do, but like as I'm looking, I'll like hold it up to where like I can see the horizon in the reflection. Like I don't know if it works that way. Like I can see where the sky meets the ground. And I'll like turn around. Can I look for a dark tower in the distance along the horizon in this mirror?
You definitely can. I will say that it's not. You've looked through the shard just before to get a vision of what this tower looked like, as I imagine all of you would have. You don't see it exactly how you saw through Kira's shard, but there's definitely something different than if you were just look through your normal vision. It gives you the idea that there's some sort of similar arcane work at play here.
Interesting. I'll point that out, and maybe, I mean, God forbid something happened to that shard, but maybe this is worth keeping in mind. I don't know that I'm the best person to have this. Tonk, do you want to carry this just in case?
Yeah, absolutely. I can for sure. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I will say too that if we are thinking about traveling at nighttime, whilst it may ruin any
Sleep schedule.
stealthiness that we may have, but
Oh, dare you?
I can cast daylight, and that would give us, it would be nighttime, but it would give us the safety of the light.
Is that momentary, or is that something that can last over a long time?
An hour. So if we were to run into some trouble,
Yeah,
I could cast that, and we could, get through that period.
We're still a ways away from the tower, though.
I more mean if we run anything in the
On the
lead
way.
up to the tower, not so much at the tower.
yeah. Not to use it as like means to guide us, but
It would be. We wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to use it. Purely for the fact that at the moment we haven't done anything other than remove the this dragon construct.
Does anyone have an issue
To
in
announce that we're
seeing
coming.
in the darkness?
No, I have no dramas.
I am not particularly good at it.
All right, havoc in the
But
middle.
you're a rabbit.
Yeah.
Rabbits
What's your
eat
point?
carrots.
There's an entire race of cat people in this world that don't have dark vision.
I'm learning so much.
Which is absurd.
Which mechanically just doesn't make any sense, but that's not the point. I can't see in the dark.
Aren't you nocturnal? Sorry, continue.
Right, so havoc stays with Derek. Derek stays with me. And if we run into trouble, Tonk becomes the sun.
Essentially, yeah.
So we're all holding Kira's hand, is what we're getting.
With daisy chaining? Is that what we're doing?
Conga line of
daisy chain?
Nice.
Okay. We're going to move at night time, I guess, for what, 6 hours? Is that what we're thinking? Half the night?
Half a day's worth of that, and then
Okay.
or until something changes.
Yeah. Someone falls off a ravine.
To start off, I would like everyone to make Constitution saving throws for exhaustion.
Wonderful.
Ugh.
I think that was a bad wonderful. It's
10,
DC 10.
which I think means I pass.
DC 10.
Ooh, close.
12.
Kira.
11.
11. Ayla.
12.
12. Tonk.
9.
He doesn't look happy.
So
I rolled a 12, but
you
it went out of my
take 1
bucket.
point
And I
of
rolled again.
exhaustion.
Okay. There's a button for that, isn't there?
There is a button for your exhaustion. But you head on into the night. I would like another survival check, please. This is also a higher DC. It has been.
Guidance.
All right. Where do I find the?
Is it a high DC? Are you sure?
Yep.
17.
17. Okay. And I would also like someone to just roll 1d20, please.
I rolled terribly tonight. Let it be me.
Do we need it to be good or bad? Because like that may matter
In the
on
middle.
who rolls
In
this.
the middle.
It was a D20, wasn't it, or was it
Yeah.
a D10?
Not
D20.
20.
2.
2. Okay.
2.
Interesting.
2.
All right, good to know.
Get it out of the way before
Really,
whatever happens.
really are rolling terribly, aren't you?
Oh well, I did call it. Like,
Yeah,
Mm.
true.
here we go. Exhaustion 1. 1.
Okay.
I'm going for 1.
So, your group push on into the night. One of you seeming to notice the struggle more than others.
Shorter legs.
Kira, while not as confident as you are during the day, you still successfully manage to refer to your map and the shard and navigate through the Icewind Dale tundra, managing to avoid those massive ice ravines that are covered just with a small portion of snow, and knowing what to look out for and what to avoid. You do notice that you are moving closer to the tower through the night, which is something that wasn't necessarily confirmed, but is reassuring knowing that your assumptions were correct. But you move further, closer to this tower through the night, and you successfully make it 6 hours into your travel
To the
To
tower.
the tower.
to the tower.
Holy shit.
Oh, I thought we were way further away.
I did
So
too.
Sorry. You're not at the tower. Sorry, apologies. I heard something different. You successfully made it through your 6 hours of travel closer to the tower. Is what I meant.
Okay.
Fine.
Sorry.
Fine.
Wow.
I'm
Sorry.
totally okay with that.
Very
Sorry.
concerning.
I heard something.
Tonk goes, "We made it." Ella goes, "We're here."
But
I think Havoc does because he's blind. He's just like,
yeah.
oh shit, it's there.
6 hours have passed, and you are able to confirm that you've been moving closer to this tower.
Oh, that makes sense.
So at this point, you're probably looking at it still through the night, albeit probably close to early morning, or at least definitely middle of the night. You maybe are not as far as it may seem, being that your distance was not for nothing traveling through the day. It traveling at nighttime seems to speeden things up. But is there anything you'd like to do before resting, or do you travel on further into the night?
I'd like to suggest we sleep through
I think
the
we sleep.
day
I think we sleep. Now I'm very tired. My little legs can only go so far. And Derek is not all that comfortable to ride on for a long period of time.
Let's rest then.
Tonk's been riding Derek. Havoc's been holding onto one of his horns because he doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah. He just looks like one of those border collies that's being attacked by the children that like live with it. It's just like everyone's hanging off of it.
Goodness. Yes, well, let's Havoc, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, no worries. I'll get onto it. Do his usual thing. Go over, open up his book, and begin to chant various things and cast his spells.
Very good.
With the dome, obviously you keep, like it's a very comfortable temperature in there. Does the snow that's already on the ground melt away, over time. To the point where there's just, at the end of it, there's just a hole in the snow.
Probably. I think inside I think it says that it is.
It's like a room temperature. It's like nice room
Comfortable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's a comfortable, and like we'd have the orb going if we wanted it to be warmer. I've got that with us as well.
So just slowly sinking in the snow.
Yeah.
So
Quite
to dig our
possibly.
way out
Does
in the morning.
it doesn't create a floor, does it? It doesn't create.
No, it's only a dome.
But are you? Is that the four of you turning in for your rest?
Think so.
Probably over time.
Kira, what is your passive perception?
21.
21.
21.
Ayla, can you roll me a d20, please?
No. Stop.
I'm so glad it wasn't me.
7.
Still glad it wasn't me.
7 polar bears.
And a d4, please.
7.
4.
Thank you, Ayala.
A 4?
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Okay.
shit. All my dice hate me tonight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Just did a
I'm not gonna
random
take
roll when you asked Ayala to do that. I rolled a natural 1 on my d20, and then I rolled a 1 on the d4.
Well, I like that. Makes me feel happy.
We're all gonna die.
Well, actually, not pretty good, but not good enough.
Not good enough for these old
Not
eyes.
good enough. Not good enough.
Kira, as you're meditating, not fully asleep, you hear some trudges through the snow.
I would like to.
You are the only one awake at this point in time. See.
Do I have an inkling of how long it's been since people went down for their nappy nap?
Not enough for a long rest. If
But a
was
short
you.
rest?
No, because a short rest is different than a partial long rest.
They're woken up through their REM sleep, so they're groggy and don't get it.
Another point of exhaustion.
1 point of bad mood. Can I investigate with my eyeball? What?
Sure.
Making the noise.
You stick your head out of the tiny hut and you see what would appear to be 5.
There was no 5 involved.
They're gawky looking humanoid creatures carrying different parts of or different weapons, but they look crudely made, and they're sort of moving in a bit of a group fashion towards your hut. Roll. I don't think that's high enough. You're not sure if they've noticed you as you poke your head out, but they are all moving towards you, or your group at least.
I'm going to kick the person closest to me, and I'm going to roll a d6 as to who that is. AL is 1 and 2, Havoc 3 and 4, Tonks 5 and 6.
What about Derek?
I rolled a 1. Wait, who was 1 and 2?
AL, I think.
Perfect. Because I don't want to take my eyes off. I'm just like booting, kind of like getting someone's attention and hearing for like a rustle.
What?
Shh, shh, shh. Hey, Ayala, is that you?
Yeah.
I was like, anyone else? Are you sure? It's
me, Tonk.
Ayala, wake up, Havoc and Tonk. There's movement outside. Something could be going down. How many people? 4, 5?
5.
Yes. Can you just
Yes, I'm on it.
silently wake them up? There's like 5 people, things coming this way.
I will shake them both awake.
With your hand over their mouth so they don't wake up.
Just by the shoulders.
Tonk's exhausted. He's had like 1 hour sleep.
There's people coming. We're not sure what that means.
Roll to wake up Tonk. Just Tonk.
Okay.
Right.
Roll to hit.
Can we finish sleeping first?
I don't think Kira would have woken us up if she didn't think we needed to be awake.
Kira turns around.
Up?
You can sleep when you're dead.
Kira,
Yeah,
what's
but
up?
They
As this
can't come in
conversation is
here.
happening, Kira, you can hear the footsteps are now much closer, probably on the outside of your hut, and you can hear them in all directions.
What do you mean they can't come in?
No one can come in except people that I want to. We can just stay here.
What? It's impenetrable.
Oh, unless they dispel it.
How long does this thing last again? Like
8 hours. There's nothing stopping me casting another one while we're still inside. We can just rest. Can I go back to sleep?
it just feels wrong.
Are they coming for us, or are they trying to be stealthy?
There's
Does
5
it
of
seem like
them.
they want to kill us?
There's 5 of them. They look like humans. They are armed, kind of. I don't know, with weapons. They look like they made themselves.
Humans out here?
What fucking anyone out here, really?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Are they undead?
Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast this spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it.
You can't see
ALs
out of it though until you go out of it though,
No,
can't you?
No.
we can see out, they can't see in.
I can do whatever. I can make it opaque. I can make it see through.
Isn't it?
I believe.
We can see out,
So
they
the
can't see
dome
in.
is opaque from the outside. From the outside, it's opaque, so we can see out. They can't see in.
One-way mirror.
And it's any color I choose. So I would have been choosing white to make it kind of blend in or make it like look like snow. But yeah, they can't see in. We can see out, and I can make the inside light or dark.
Okay. Well, let me let me quickly retcon something. After Kira wakes you, and you sort of gain consciousness.
We all see. So what do we all see?
Yes, and clear your blurry eyes. What you see are 5 large-ish men, in kind of leathers and furs, but only on their lower half. Their tops are exposed. It would appear that some of them even have frostbite and freezing in certain parts, but do not seem to be bothered by it. And what you have noticed is that they have surrounded you on most sides.
Eyes of the grave. As soon as as soon as I see like the frostbite and they're not bothered by it, eyes of the grave instantly.
Are they undead?
Are they undead?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, they are not. It does not give you a ping.
Okay. Interesting.
But they are mostly curious and kind of like stalking the outside of this, having seen Kira sort of. I guess it wouldn't have poked your head out.
You wouldn't have poked your head out. They
Yeah, you
just see
wouldn't
the
have
dome.
needed to. But they're still sort of curiously circling the area where you were.
What do we want to do here?
It kind of sounds like we can wait them out. They might die of the cold before.
Or go get more before.
Well, we can wait to see if they start to leave and make the decision from there. If they're just gonna try to surround this for a while, I don't see why we don't continue to rest.
Other than the leathers and furs, is there any iconography on them? They hold anything that we would have seen?
Roll a perception check.
This will go well. Hey, not too bad. Natural 17 for a 22. Apparently, all I can do is roll perception tonight.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
So, Tonk, you have a look at them, and there's definitely no iconography on any of them, but you do notice that some of their weapons appear to be of similar material as the dragon.
Okay.
So, slightly curious. But one thing does stand out to you more is their reddish glow that they have coming from their eyes. And the only thing that you know that could something have similar to that is possibly fiendish in nature.
Okay.
Mm. They don't have wings though; they're just humanoids.
Just humanoids.
Right, so they might not give up. Oh, they're moving.
Didn't prepare that. What do we think? Do we want to take them on, or do we want to?
I mean, if you can sleep while being surrounded by fiendish men, I can stay up for a while and wake anyone if anything changes. But if what Havoc says is true and they can't get in, I suppose there's no reason for us to act right now.
Not unless one of them can dispel the hut. Will be fine.
Well, I think my concern is like if they do figure out how to dispel it, and I'll look over to my armor that's off next to where I'm sleeping, that will be in a compromised position.
Maybe sleep with your armor on this time. What kind of armor do you wear? See, I'm not.
It's leather armor, but I don't think you can. You can't get a full rest with armor on. Not a long.
No, I think you
long
can.
rest. Okay.
I think you can sleep with your armor on.
I feel like that would be like DM's discretion depending on the armor.
Yeah,
like,
no,
maybe you can't get a full rest in plate, but in leather armor, I can't see why you
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't be able to get a full rest in.
Yeah, I think you'd be okay with leather armor. I'm fine with that. I mean, having never previously discussed it, I'd be fine with being able to take a full rest in leather armor. Probably not your armor, Tonk. You would have to take yours off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's fine.
Or
That's
we could
handy. Or we
deal with them
take
quickly
them by
and
surprise and or maybe they're not violent. They should. That's no, never mind. Ignore me.
use our words.
Yes, this
While
is
you're
not
having
a
this
situation where
discussion,
we're going to talk to them.
No.
While you're just kind of discussing your options, you notice that they're starting to sort of touch the side of your hut. Unable to pass through, obviously, but they are investigating it.
The girl at the dentist on Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Why are you sleeping? We're not. you woke us up.
Not anymore. Technically, I woke you up.
I guess we just try and get some finish off our rest.
I just feel so wrong.
I mean, they can't
I'm
see
not
us, so
I'm not opposed to fighting them right now.
yeah.
Do we? Yeah. The other thing is, if we do go to sleep and they leave, are we wanting to maintain an element of surprise if they leave? Go tell.
Well, currently,
people
they
we're
probably
here.
don't know that there's five of us in here ready to fight. I mean, we could just burst out. They can't see in, so.
The problem is that they already knew that we were here. They've come straight to us. So if we do kill these ones, then maybe
don't
there's
know
more
that.
that are waiting.
That's what I'm kind of worried about. What if we don't get the chance to finish this rest, finish our sleep,
That's true.
and then from there, we're, Tonk, you look like shit.
Yeah, I feel like it as well. All right, Tonk's putting on his half plate. Let's do it. Stuff.
Oh, we're going for it.
Ready to go.
Oh, I thought we were more erring on the side of get you napping.
That was definitely leaning towards trying to get you to nap, but okay. Guess not.
We're kill them and then get a night's sleep rather than get a night's sleep and try and get through.
Hilarious if the ruckus of this fight brings on more people.
Oh yeah.
I just want to sleep.
All right. Well, if that's the case, might as well prepare properly.
Well, I mean, I can take this off again. I just thought that's what you were talking about.
I was very much talking about just like chilling out.
I don't know. I'm exhausted.
That's my point.
Look, let's just sit here at the ready and see what they do for the next couple of minutes.
Tonk takes his half plate off again and tries to go back to sleep.
Maybe he thinks he's dreaming. Okay, well. God. I'm going to stay up for a while.
I'll set it for the next 10 minutes, just in case.
Sure. So for those that are going back to sleep, you do your best, but it is a weird sensation knowing that there are some unfriendly, what would appear to be unfriendly characters surrounding your sleeping area. And for those that are keeping watch for a moment, you notice these creatures, and you start to get a little bit more information. They move very similar to what you've seen zombies move like, but they don't appear to be undead. You can see that some of them have quite bad frostbite on fingers and toes and facial features, which would
You
mean
mentioned
long exposure to the cold, but are not necessarily affected by it. Don't seem to be kind of that interested in it. Their weapons, crudely made, much what you would expect tribes people to be using for their weapons, but wield them with quite high strength, and are not necessarily struggling to pick up maces. Some of them have a javelin, but the other thing that sort of piques your interest is that there's a flicker of what you could only assume to be maybe confusion or madness, but they every so often kind of dart their eyes back and forth or flick their head around the corner sort of thing, and almost twitching in certain ways. But these beings are fairly far gone from possibly what they once were. But 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by. They don't appear to be leaving, or not yet anyway.
What have they done so far? Just touched.
Mostly just touched it. No, they haven't swung any of their weapons against it or anything like that. Mostly just circling it and rubbing up against it. It's like the opposite of a zoo. It's like you guys are in the zoo, and the drones of people are watching you. But
you're
you
not
know they're not
locked in
watching
here
you.
with me. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. No, okay. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, and they're just kind of there. I guess I should get some rest. And I'll try to lay down and go to sleep.
Very well.
I'll continue my meditation, obviously being I was going to say subconscious, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'll say
semi-conscious.
Yeah, you're in your semi-conscious state. You don't exactly see them leave. It's when you, because is it 4 or 6 hours?
4.
4 hours. It's at the end of your meditative state that you notice them in the distance, sort of almost walked off and sort of left your area. And it would appear that they've moved on, having waited around for 4-ish hours, and then tried to move off. I rolled a d6 and rolled a 4 to see how long they would last. But yeah, you all awake, having gained your long rest, albeit, or it would be a little bit later, I guess, in the day at this point, because it would have been past midnight, and then the disruption to restart your kind of long rest, maybe only been an hour. So yeah, it's probably just before midday when you awake.
Oh, that was
Interesting way to
anticlimactic.
avoid a combat.
They're gone. Ah, wonderful.
Do we get our long rest?
You do, yes.
Chong's still exhausted, or no?
No, exhaustion. 1 point of exhaustion runs out for one long rest.
Wow.
Oh, I feel much better.
That worked out quite well.
Okay. Well, it seems they left.
That's the most passive thing we've done all campaign.
Yes, correct.
Literally slapped through a fucking encounter.
Just want my sleep, man. Like,
it's hilarious. We'll fucking shoot arrows at children. Oh.
Any idea what those things were?
Patient is what they were.
how long did they stay there for?
I mean, after I was done with my meditation, they were kind of in the distance, so they were around for hours.
Oh, well, I'm sure if they want to meet our acquaintance, they'll come back. Anyway, shall we continue?
One of their nipples probably fell off and they decided to.
Yeah, it was really strange. They must be under some sort of a spell or something because they weren't undead, but their bodies told the story of them being here a while.
Can I roll an Arcana check on any spells that I might know that might, I don't know, turn something's eyes red and make it being able to be controlled?
Sure.
25.
Possession.
It doesn't remind you of possession in any sort of way. If anything, it sort of reminded
Domination?
you of domination. Yeah.
Okay.
It almost seemed like with that higher intelligence roll or just arcana, I guess. The easiest thing it reminds you of is the actual dragon, and similar to how that
okay, yeah.
thing functioned, and then the fact that their weapons were made of a similar material. That's what it reminds
So whatever
you
made
of.
that dragon's probably dominating them as well.
Oh.
That's terrifying.
I can't say I'm not surprised, seeing as where we're headed.
Very
Me neither. Can't say it's comforting either.
Nope.
Well, shall we? Anyone else got business to attend to this morning?
I feel great.
Well, how long before dark?
Uh,
Are we
Question.
trying to exclusively move at nighttime, or are we?
If I look through the shard, what do I see? Storm?
You see the storm, albeit it is much closer than it ever has been previously. And you're definitely... It more so almost looks like a cloud more than a storm now, to be honest. And when you look at a cloud, you can almost see the 3D aspect of it. You can see that there's depth to it. You can see that there's thickness to it. This doesn't have that aspect of a cloud, though. It almost appears to be barrier-ish.
The barrier seems to dissipate at night time. Interesting.
Oh, I wonder.
That sounded
We're
so
going to be moving.
sarcastic.
We're going to be.
Wasn't sarcastic. It's just maybe curious.
We're going to be moving at nighttime. Is there anything we have to do to get organized? Because there's a good chance we may come up against those guys that we saw last night.
I'm good to go. I'm ready to.
Yep.
Got my swords.
So are we going to do the same thing are we going to travel solely at night, or are we going to travel like halfway through the day, halfway through the night, and then rest again? Because if we're gonna just
I
go
feel like,
solid night, we need to wait here for another 6 or
hours.
7 hours.
oh, we could just rest some more and then get moving. Travel at night. I can put up another dome so we can just nap.
Chill out.
The cards.
Been a while since we had a day off.
Has been a while. We've been like moving constantly. It'd be nice to just spend a couple hours just chilling out.
Sure.
Well, let's do that then. I'll get started on casting another Leomol's Tiny Hut.
Sure. You finish your ritual spell and you begin your downtime. What would you like to do during your downtime?
I might send another message to the library guys. So in their
Sure.
last message to me, they mentioned that the war is more dire. I just want a little bit more information on what that means.
Tom, is there a way that you could work in asking about the hag? I don't know if that's important, but it was meant to be sentenced before we left, I think. Don't know that we have the full details.
Well, in that case, I have 3 questions because I was also going to ask if there was any more information on Strixnor and his, current. I guess it's his school of. Is there anything more known about him to give us any information on?
Save the
what we're
thing
trying to
about the
do?
hag until later. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send a message to. Don't remember his name. It eludes me.
Bhavani?
Is
Was it
anyone
an
willing to
E
help?
or a B?
Evandil?
It was Evandil and
Bhavani?
Bhavana.
Well done.
Bhavana. Bhavana was the one that didn't speak as fast. That was the
Mhm.
brother. So I'm going to send it to Bhavana.
Sure.
I would know how sending stones work, correct? Like it's one set of sending stones. It's not like there's not like an array of sending stones. Like if I have his sending stone, whatever I send to him.
It is a closed link.
Yeah, cool. That's what I'm asking. Yeah. Bhavana, we are coming up to Strixner's house. Do you have any information on weaknesses? Also, you mentioned war is more dire. Can you please elaborate?
Bitch.
I don't send the bitch.
It takes a moment for a response to come through, but eventually one does. And you hear Bhavana say, "Wow, I suppose be careful. As for weaknesses, I'm sorry, nothing had been noted. We haven't found any more information. As for the war, the refugee relief efforts that Neverwinter are doing, are not enough. It would appear that the Orc Warband will arrive in Neverwinter soon. We don't know when. And that's the end of the message.
Okay.
All right. I'll relay that to the group. Yeah, there's no more information on Strixner. I thought maybe we could have a little bit more info going forward, just in case. You know, we just try and find any advantage that we could find. Also, the Orc Warband sounds like get messy at Neverwinter.
Do we have any idea why? Why is there war?
Always been. Actually, would we know? Like, would we have
Heard rumors or anything?
heard rumors, or has it always been like a rumbling between the sort of like the orcs and the rest of the races?
I'll say Tonk, Kira, and Ayala can roll a history check. Havoc is not old enough.
Havoc don't care.
Oh, really? It was going to be good. 9 for me.
Jeez, not bad. 19.
17.
19.
I don't have
Ben
high
goes,
intelligence.
This is rare. I didn't think I'd get to use this piece of lore. This is something I wrote quite long ago.
Oh, really? About the orc?
We just didn't give a
War.
shit.
Well, Kira, you recall something called the Orc Gate Wars. This is something that happened 400 years ago, give or take, and is about was about a orc rebellion that terrorized the Sword Coast. This warband, as they're called, worked its way from Waterdeep through Neverwinter, through Luskan, before the main force was defeated at what was called the Battle of Blackford, which was the Battle of Blackford Road, which was was a main thoroughfare between Luskan and Mirabar. It's said that the orc force once kind of generated from a place called Grey Peak Mountains. And towards the end of this war, it is said that that's where their forces returned to. The only other thing and information that was kind of well known was that this warband was led by an orc called Thauzo. Thazo.
And so, over the years, they've just rebuilt an army, supposedly.
Unsure exactly of the specifics, but that's sort of we lost out.
Wow, he really didn't know anything about it.
He really didn't care.
He did
That's
say.
sort of probably one of the more intricate pieces of knowledge that you can recall about orcs and kind of maybe their impression that they've left on the Sword Coast. Unfortunately, without knowing more information about this current warband and what they're doing, which you probably don't know about, it's difficult to say exactly what their relationship would be, but there are probably a little bit too many similarities between what's happening now and what you can recall to diswarrant this information.
Right.
And what was like the original goal, like 400 years ago, to just?
What you can assume is just to conquer.
Huh.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's fairly well known the orcs love to fight. It is their passion. That is what they live for. They live for the act of war, the act of fighting. So, probably that would be a main goal of theirs, is to just generate some sort of way of fighting, and whether that be through a war, so be it.
While Kiddo's kind of filling us in on that, oh, no. That's
PC just fried itself.
oh,
He's a new one.
Yeah.
that's not good.
Oof.
We might take a quick break, see if
Yeah.
Dale can get back out. See if we can get it working again. Does he have a laptop or anything like that, Jamie?
He's got his other PC, but
Oh.
no.
It just fried itself. That's weird, because he was on cam and then it looked like he left to go do something. I'm talking smoke rising out of the top fried itself.
Oh,
What?
no.